Hey, it's Jeff doing more ChessTempo training. I also brought back this note where we have the forcing moves and some typical mistakes in calculating variations, and just about every mistake you can make calculating variations will fall into one of these 5 categories. But if I find out some new ones, I might update this. But this came from a few books, and it's pretty helpful, at least when looking after the puzzle, seeing which of these 5 you did, and maybe over time you can make a tally and see which of these mistakes you make the most often. Okay, so 10 minutes, and let's go. And it's been a while since I've done these, so taking it slow, but I always take it slow. But I might not find much, and I'm also a little sleepy, but want to make the video nonetheless. So forcing moves, we have rook f5, queen f5, we have h4, they're all checks. Queen g6, we could probably eliminate, and we also have queen e3 check, queen d2 check. So those are the checks. There are actually no, okay, we have queen d6 as a capture, but that can probably be eliminated. After queen takes, I don't see anything good for white, but there's no other capture, so then if it's not one of those checks, it's going to be a threat. So looking at queen h7, if that threatens h4 at all. I'll keep it as a candidate move, but other threats would be rook e3 hitting the queen, and really I don't see anything else. So hopefully that solution is one of those moves. Then we've succeeded in our initial candidate move search, which took a bit. But let's see, because some of these f5 moves, like rook f5 and queen f5, those might also be able to get rid of. We might be able to get rid of those immediately. Let's say queen f5, queen takes, rook takes, king takes. They're promoting this b pawn. Is there anything else? So after queen takes, queen f5, queen takes, h4. No, I could go king g6. Yeah, so queen f5 I'm gonna eliminate. Rook f5, queen takes, and so there could be other moves afterwards, like some intermediate checks like queen d2 and stuff after certain things. Also after rook f5, queen takes, we could take the bishop, but that's also probably winning for black. So after looking at it for a bit, h4 I haven't looked at it much, but I'm wondering if that might be more of the answer. Also, I guess rook f4 might threaten some stuff. Also, if we just do nothing, like rook e3, I guess they could. No, they can't queen immediately, or maybe they could. No, they couldn't, because we could take their queen, rook e5 would check, and then take the queen on b1 with our queen. So some of the only moves I haven't looked at much is h4 and queen d2, and maybe queen h7, and maybe maybe rook f4. So let's see, h4. Okay, if king g4, we have rook f4, and they would have to give up the queen. But after h4, the only other move is king h6, and I don't know if there's a good follow-up. Like queen d2 check, they can go to king h7. We can't really chase them, so that's that might be a reason to go queen h7 threatening h4. Because maybe the idea is... Well, no, I don't know what the idea is. Or maybe the idea is because h4 immediately lets him go to king h6 to escape, going queen h7 might have something for us. Which I wasn't thinking that queen h7 was going to be a serious candidate move for anything. But it wasn't until I looked at one of the forcing ideas and seeing that it might not work, but it could work if you do this queen h7 move. Sometimes that happens in chess. So anything I'm missing? So let's look at queen d2 right immediately for a second. The only move that they can do that doesn't lose on the spot is king g6, I believe. And now I don't see any good follow-ups. Like maybe we go queen c2. If we go queen d3, they can just repeat, so it's nothing like that. But if queen c2, is there any benefit from having the queen on the c file? Doesn't really look like it. Like, let's say even king h6 there. No other good follow-up checks. Can't even pick up the b2 pawn because the queen on e5 is guarding it. So out of all of this, it really seems like, from elimination, queen h7 has got to be something. So let's find black's best defense of that. And what is the idea? So let's say queen h7 immediately, and we had another move. When we go h4, because I don't see anything else as a good follow-up. So let's say queen h7 and h4 was played. King has to go to g4. And... oh. So the problem was, so after queen h7 and h4 and king g4, I was looking at rook f4 at first, but it seemed kind of weird because, well, no, I feel like that's still winning too. But I'm also thinking that there might be a, no, there is not a queen sacrifice because the bishop is on d6. So I was thinking queen h7, and let's say we had another move and we went h4, and the king is on g4. I had thought we can go queen takes g7, and then after queen takes rook f4, trying to checkmate. And I think that would be checkmate if it wasn't for the bishop on d6. But after queen h7, and let's say we play h4, king g4, rook f4 check. The king can't go anywhere, probably. Like, I should be saying this for certain, but my visualization is not on point right now. But after rook f4, queen takes f4, we take the queen. Their only counterplay is to queen their pawn, but our queen is on h7, so we could pick up the pawn and we win. So queen h7. Now we were looking at this from the perspective that we can do two moves, but now we actually have to see, does black have anything? And I guess they do. They have queen e2 giving an annoying check, but it might not do anything after rook f2, so that's what we have to check now. And it makes sense to me to do that game where you visualize yourself doing two moves just to see if there was an idea that was crushing before going down the rabbit hole of seeing all their checks that they might have. Sometimes you can see clearly that their check does stop your plans. But let's say queen h7 and queen e2 is probably their best chance to get out of stuff. Rook f2. Their only check, other than sacrificing the queen, is queen d5 check. And I'm guessing we move something like king h2, and hopefully the threats are still there. and we're running out of time. And from elimination, I didn't see any other better ideas, so I'm gonna assume that that's the right answer somehow. And if we get to the point where they play queen d5, I'll think a little bit more. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. So let's play queen h7 with the idea of going h4 and rook f4. Okay, so they go for this check. So like any other king move would just lose the rook. So let's attack the queen. So they sacrifice, so they didn't go there, so easy, easy. Oh wait, no, it went to another puzzle. Wait, I can just abandon, I think. So if let's say just go here, leave. Okay, next time I go to the thing, it'll ask me if I want to continue. So I'll cancel this right now. But let me test it. If I were to change the set, oh, okay, so I actually have to do the other problem. Okay, well, I might do that tomorrow, who knows. But I gotta be careful, because stopping the timer with the global hotkey makes it so that it goes to the next puzzle, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, we'll take a look at the puzzle that we just did. And so, oh wait, I've done this one before. No, that was just today's attempt. Alright, so one h4 and one rook e3 were the top mistakes. Both played just about equally. Rook e3. Okay, so they were just giving a tempo on the queen, but it doesn't really do much. Because if you're gonna make this move, you gotta be certain that you're doing something that will win material or checkmate. So it's kind of like a guess because you don't see anything better. Which queen h7, it could be like a harder move to see, because it wasn't, like I had mentioned, queen h7 is a possible threat, but it wasn't until you look deeper into the position that you see how strong of a threat queen h7 is. And then rook e, oh, that was one we looked at. So h4 immediately, which I did mention, but why did I get rid of h4? I think it was just because of this, and there wasn't any good follow-up checks. Sure, here you do win, and I could see a lot of people playing this h4 move, seeing that this wins, and then hoping that everything else wins as well. And they spend a lot of time calculating what happens if they even. Sometimes they might not even see king h6 as a candidate move. But so yeah, depending on what you did, you might have made one of these mistakes. So if you, let's see, so you played h4 and you didn't consider king h6, then the opponent made mistake number 2. The opponent's strong defense hasn't been taken into account. You just looked at their weak defense, which made your idea work. And it's possible you made some overlapping other errors with some of the other ones from this list of 5. But yeah, so everything else, let's see. Okay, after that they didn't really make any mistakes, so yeah. And also, last thing, oh, it wasn't even queen d5. Why did I think queen d5 was the check that they could do? This would be the only other check, and we could just take with the queen. But I thought in this situation the queen was here, and they would give this check. That's when I was talking about where you go king h2. Now for me, I guess that's like mistake number 4, even though it wasn't a costly mistake. I still got it right, because I didn't really see any other good options other than queen h7 for the first move. And once you get the first move, most people get it right. So number 4, position after several moves, remembered poorly, so that was visualization that had to be worked on for me, which I think I mentioned. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.